Former President Joe Biden has reportedly reached a deal to sell his presidential memoir for a $10 million advance. So for you kids out there who are worried you're not qualified for the job you want, Joe Biden is getting paid $10 million to remember things.
Well, wait a minute. That was the left making fun of Joe Biden. Uh-oh. Has the tide turned? I guess they figured the obvious jokes must be addressed. Welcome to Friday. Friday Luya to ya, as I like to say. It's Mike Opelka in for Chris Plant. He returns next Tuesday. So you only have to hang out till next Tuesday. He'll be back. But we're going to try and have as much fun as we can. Wowie zowie. Yesterday, that was one of the big news stories, and kind of interesting that you would actually hear the left taking a shot at Joe Biden. What they left out is, I think there's some important things that need to be mentioned as it relates to Joe Biden and the $10 million advance he's getting for his memoirs. He's going to have to sell, or the publisher is going to have to sell 300,000 copies of that book in order to break even. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think that's happened. So they have represented Joe Biden in the past. Creative Artist Agency represented Biden, and they got him a $10 million advance or commitment on the book. We could have fun today suggesting what the name of the Biden book should be. And who's going to write it? Is it going to be the auto pen, of course, is the obvious thing. And is it going to be a coloring book is what I was speculating. But I think it's interesting to note that the marketplace decides the value of things, does it not? That's one of the beauties of the capitalist system, and the free market is well equipped to tell us what the value of something is. So, for example, former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama got a deal from Penguin Random House that has been estimated to be in the $60 million range for their book. Joe Biden gets 10. Michelle and Barack, 60. Now, you could make the statement that Joe Biden only served one term as president, but he was there during the Obama years for 2 terms, whether he remembers it or not, and then he was credibly seen in the Senate for decades, over 4 decades. What did Hunter say in the F-bomb-laden screed earlier this week? He was elected more than 7 times to the Senate. I think he might have said effing Senate or something. There was an F-bomb in there somewhere. So Joe Biden, $10 million. Barack and Michelle, 60. And Bill Clinton, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, was paid $15 million for one of his memoirs. Donald Trump did not pursue a memoir after leaving the White House in 2021, but there may be some offers out on the table in 2028 for Donald Trump. We will see what happens on that. But I think I'm not saying $10 million is chump change. Certainly not. Someone tells me, "Hey, Mike, we'll give you $10 million advance if you write the story of your life." I am spending the next 5 weekends at least writing down stuff I remember. I don't know if Joe Biden has enough stuff to fill a book. We will see. We will see. We will see. $10 million. Yeah, if we go back, former President George W. Bush got $7 million for his book. So Biden's got more than 36 years in the Senate, 8 years as vice president, 4 years as president, $10 million. If you've got a clever name, of course, we'll happily entertain any kind of comedy at the expense of the Biden family, of course. 888-630-9625, 888-630-9625. We're going to have fun with this all day because the $10 million, I guess that's to pay for whatever legal battles they might have to fight in the future. I don't know if they're going to have any, but we'll see. $10 million, that's still a lot of money. But those Obamas, they're certainly a little bit better at the negotiation. We should put together a list of all the money the Obamas have made post-presidency from Netflix, from probably, I think, did Spotify pay them some money? I don't know. We'll get into it. But I want to talk about that. There's also a story out today that should offend us, those of us who are in the business of trying to tell the truth at all times. Time magazine, which used to be a thing, used to be a credible source of news and information on a weekly basis, not so much anymore. Time magazine is out with a list of the 100 best podcasts of all time. And they break it down into categories of comedy and fiction, sports, society, business and technology, true crime history, and pop culture, science, and news and politics. It's a pretty good categories. You get about 10 categories in there, and you think, I wonder where Joe Rogan sits in the 100 best podcasts of all time. He's not in there. As a matter of fact, there don't appear to be any conservative podcasters in there. I'm just looking over in the news and politics area. The Ezra Klein Show. Oh, no, he's not conservative. The Daily Mail podcast. No. NPR's Embedded. Those are the top 3 that they list. Now, I will occasionally dip into Rogan's podcast, but I don't have 3 hours to invest, but I certainly know that Joe Rogan would not be cashing the checks he's cashing if he were not among the top 100 podcasts on the planet. So Time Magazine, you get today's Bravo Sierra Award for putting out this list. Yeah, this is a truckload of Bravo Sierra being delivered. And what's after Ezra Klein? Something called the Long Form Podcast, Plain English with Derek Thompson, and The Prince. I guess it's a profile of Xi Jinping. Just phenomenal that the left keeps telling us they don't have any reality in their world. They're flat out showing it to us. We will, of course, address what happened yesterday with the visit to the Federal Reserve. I couldn't believe how quickly the idiots over at MSNBC and CNN have tried to turn this into a racist thing. Yes, race was brought into it already. It's just they don't understand things. They just don't understand things over there. But we'll have fun with that. So the sad news yesterday, as we were leaving the air yesterday, the news broke that Hulk Hogan had passed away at the age of 71. And one of the things that I had discussed with the great Michael Piercy during our off-air conversations was 71 years old. Is Hulk Hogan? Was he only 7? It seemed like he'd been around forever. And apparently, yes, 71 was Hulk Hogan's actual age. So often in the entertainment world, there is a fudging of the age because people always want to be seen as younger because younger is better in the showbiz. But it looks like Hulk Hogan, 71 years old, he had been troubled with a lot of ailments and a lot of surgeries. Dozens of back surgeries after all of the wrestling that he did. But being 71 years old and being such a great iconic image for so long, it's just a testament to his ability to stay in the spotlight. Yeah, he had a couple of controversies, but he's a guy who at the RNC really showed the world he was a supporter of Donald Trump. I'm sure it brought in some men, as if Donald Trump needed more men. But this was kind of sad. And then Chuck Mangione. Yeah, Chuck Mangione, we hadn't heard from him too much. He was 84 years old, passed away. Beautiful career, long, successful career in the music industry. We remember him for Feel So Good, horn player, and just quite. And I think he was on in kind of this odd side role. He was on that animated show King of the Hill. Yeah, they kind of made a bit out of having Chuck Mangione perform regularly in the parking lot of the Megalomart, a parody of the big box retail stores. So there was that sad news yesterday. As I said, the phones are open. Fridays are fun days. We're going to have some fun today. We will have some episodes of Democrats Say the Darndest Things, because yesterday they did not disappoint. They returned. Crazy Maisie came back. So did Beto. So did Jazzy. And Randy Weingart, who I think is mad because the NEA's president, Rebecca Pringle, got so much attention last week for yelling that she had to come back. Randy Weingart, had to come back in front of the microphone and do some yelling herself. So we'll have fun with that. There's a lot of fun on the menu today. Some serious topics, some interesting clips we have to share with you, updates and comparisons to the stories being told today by the Democrats as it relates to the Russia collusion scandal and what they were selling years ago. We'll get to all of that. But the phones are open, 888-630-9625. Let's see what's on the books here today, and I mean it. See what I did there, on the books? Let's see what's going on. Ray is in Manassas, Virginia. Ray, welcome to the Chris Plant Show.
I think we were talking about Biden's biography or whatever it's going to be called.
Yes, sir.
They need 300,000 people to buy the book. There are 81 million people that are stupid enough to vote for him. There's got to be 300,000 that are stupid enough to buy his book.
Well, I want to see. I'd be dubious to see if that's a lot of books being sold. You know, book sales are one of those things that it always mystifies me about these advances, because I know there's no way in hell that the Obama's advance of $60 million was recovered or recouped in any way, shape, or form. But that's an interesting comparison. 80 million people, you got to be able to find 300,000. If you find 1%, you got 800,000. I don't know if 1% of the people are reading. I wish, Ray, they would do the audiobook, because I think that would be fun. An audiobook, if it's Joe Biden, would be a lot of fun, at least for us. Thank you, Ray. Let's go to Marco in Springfield, Virginia. Hello, Marco. You have a title for the Chris Plants, for the Biden book?
I do have an alternate title. It's called Profiles in Fraud. You know, there's the Profiles in Courage for real heroes, and then there's a Profile in Fraud for people like Biden. But I wanted to mention that Maria Bartiromo had a great compilation. Ron Johnson was interviewed, and he's talking about how these people in the media need to be held accountable, because that's how we got to where we are. It's been going on since 2008. And I think her montage should be called a montage of liars, and it should be on every single news program from now until the election.
We'll take a look. Thank you, Marco. Let's grab another title for Biden's upcoming memoirs. Deborah in South Carolina. Deborah, hello.
Good morning. What my title would be, This Is Not Hyperbole.
This is not hyperbole. Okay. a little bit of irony built in there. That's very
good. Yes, pretty, that'll be very convincing to get people to buy it.
That is, Deborah, that is such beautiful Southern humor. That is so subtle. I love the subtlety of it. Well done. Thank you. Let's go to Mike in Houston, Texas. Mike, you have a title for the Biden book?
Yeah, I do. It's just going to be, come on, man. And the subtitle would be Abusing Public Trust for Almost 50 Years.
Oh, I like that. That's very good. Come on, man. Thank you, Mikey. That's good. We'll get more titles 888-630-9625. It's Michael Pelka in for Chris Plant on the Chris Plant Show.
Chris here with a list of things that none of us should trust. The Washington Post, the New York Times, anything on CNN. Here's a list of things that I do trust. The Washington Times. Support real journalism for just $1 a week at washingtontimes.com/Chris.
China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man.
Ooh, there's another possible title for the Biden book. Come on, man. Joe Biden's unlikely rise to the presidency. It's Michael Pelkin for Chris Plant on the Chris Plant Show. It's a fun Friday. We're trying to have some fun today and also make sure we cover all the news that's out there. There is a bunch. There's a whole bunch of news out there. And we'll get to as much of it as possible. But we have to have fun. Joe Biden gets $10 million for his memoirs. Not for his memories, for his memoirs. And so we're looking for a title. We're trying to be helpers because Mr. Rogers told us all to look for the helpers. In times of trouble, look for the helpers. So let us have some fun with you, the Chris Plant audience, 888-630-9625. Clark is in North Carolina. Hello, Clark. Welcome to the show. You have a title?
Biden my time.
I'm sorry?
Biden my time.
Ooh, I lost the first run at that. I like that. Biden, and maybe you could put a comma, Biden, my time. And it would work out. That's great. That's excellent. Well done. I like it, Clark. Well done. Thank you, sir. Let's go to Jason in Kensington. Good day, Jason.
G'day, Mike. How you going, mate?
I'm good. I'm sure you've got several titles ready.
Well, he has a couple of options. He could do one option where he could just have it, my memoirs, not a joke, and have that sort of picture of him looking out into space. or he could have the other one where he could have, remember those old scratch and smell books? Remember the scratch and sniff books you used to have?
I remember there was actually a scratch and sniff movie from Divine, but that's for a different discussion. But go ahead.
Yeah, you could have one of the books titled like the same, but have it a scratch and smell version. We used to be able to scratch the pages and smell something. But, that could be another version of his
You could have pictures of all the women who's sniffing their hair, and we could have different shampoo smells. Like, this was like the musky, the conditioner smell. Oh, that's good. It's a separate book, but thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Let's go to Ed in Alexandria, Virginia. Hello, Ed.
On planes, trains, and automobiles.
Ooh, planes, trains, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking a better one would be lie, sleep, and sniff.
Lie, sleep, and sniff. These are great books. I hope the publishers are listening today. Thank you, Ed. Let's go to Dave in Severna Park, Maryland. Hello, Dave. What you got?
Good morning, Michael.
Hello.
The title is Lost. My Morals, My Election, My Mind by Joe Biden.
See, I love that you guys are thinking deep on this. This is very good. Lost. My morals, my whatever in my mind. That's very good. Very good. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Let's go to Richard in San Francisco. Richard, thank you for being here. You have a title?
I do. No joke.
Just not a joke, people. I love it. There's so much. Thank you. Sometimes the simple ones will just stand out. We've got to continue this, but I also have a break coming up. Got to step aside for a few here. At least I think I do. I don't hear the music. Oh, wait.
We expect you to do everything. I'm not joking. Who know the neighborhood? Not a joke. And the crime rate began to drop for real. Not a joke. There's lousy lawyers. No, I'm serious. And I mean it. It's really lousy lawyer. I mean it. I'm not being facetious. And I'm not hyperbole.
There are so many possible titles for the upcoming memoir for Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. It is the Chris Plant Show. Welcome to Friday. Michael Pelka in for my buddy Chris Plant. He's vacationing, returning Tuesday, which means, God willing, I'll make it back here for Monday, and then Chris returns next week. And going to try and leave him a a ramp up to all of the stories that are just starting to develop right now. We're talking about this $10 million advance to Joe Biden for a book that he'll need to sell 300,000 copies to make a profit. So we did a little research during the break to see if presidential biographies make money. And the big one, of course, was Barack and Michelle Obama's A Promised Land, which came out in November of 2020. And $60 million or so was the advance, part of a larger publishing deal. Apparently, there are other books tied to that. But A Promised Land sold over 887,000 copies in the U.S., which makes it one of the best-selling presidential memoirs ever, ever, ever. And, yeah, that makes money. That gets back the advance. It has sold, a reported, up to this moment, 3.3 million copies across all formats. I'm guessing that includes hardcover, paperback, and Audible, the ones you can listen to, which I think those are just great. That's what I use. So 3.3 million copies, and it's still selling. So good for that company. I just don't know if there's going to be enough in the Biden book to generate enough. Now, Bill Clinton, we talked about Bill Clinton. He had his memoir, My Life, which came out in 2004. That made a profit as well. He got an advance of around $15 million, and it sold 2 million copies in the first year. That's a pretty good deal. So what are the best-selling overall presidential memoirs? You had, as I said, A Promised Land, Barack Obama with Michelle Obama, 3.3 million copies. My Life, Bill Clinton, 2 million, made a profit. Decision Points by George W. Bush sold over 1.5 million copies in its first month, and currently has about 2 million copies out there. And they say it's likely it made a profit. Nelson Mandela had a very well-received memoir called The Long Walk to Freedom. Sold over 1 million copies in this country. Made a profit and was generally well-received and distributed around the world. And then not a president, but in her own mind, she thinks she should have been the president a few times. Living History by Hillary Rodham Clinton. Sold over 1 million copies in its first month and sits around 1.5 million overall. So Hillary did well. And, before the memoir, The Audacity of Hope by Barack Obama sold 3 million copies. That made money. And the late Jimmy Carter he wrote several books, but his My Life as a President by Jimmy Carter sold an estimated 1 million plus copies and made a profit. So there is money to be made. I just have to wonder if there is a market for the Biden book. And these will be bought in by public schools all over the country, too, because you do have, I think we still have libraries in public schools. Not that anyone's in there using them, but you would hope that they would have libraries with history sections and presidential memoirs there. But we're trying to come up with a good title for the Biden book. And so many of you are sharing your thoughts at 888-630-9625. 888-630-9625. Let us visit with Victor in Silver Spring, Maryland. Victor, you're interested in this topic and this book?
Yes, I am. And I'm wondering, when he goes on the book tour, who's going to wake him up?
Well, that's a good question, because that Ambien has long-lasting effects. Just ask Hunter, who's now kind of denying the fact that he actually knows if there was Ambien. That's a good question. I wonder about his health. The president has the same, I think he has the same stage of prostate cancer as Scott Adams. That's what Scott Adams was saying. And Scott Adams is saying he's not expecting to survive this year. God bless him and pray for him. So I don't know. President Biden has been in declining health, not just mentally, but physically for some time. So that is a good question. I don't think he'll have to do a book tour. We'll see, but thank you. Let's go to Jerry in, is it Lovettsville, Virginia? Jerry, welcome to the Chris Plant Show.
Thanks, Mike, for taking my call. It's always a pleasure when you're sitting in for Chris.
Thank you, brother. That's very kind.
My suggestion is The Big Guy. My Life on the 50% Margin.
Wow, The Big Guy. Was that, I know the follow-up book to The Laptop from Hell. Was that not The Big Guy? I have to look at that. Miranda Devine, who wrote the incredible book, The Laptop from Hell. She had a follow-up book that was scheduled to come out in the heat of the 2024 campaign. And I got to look back and see if that's the case, because I have it on, let me check my phone, because I have it on the audiobook version. And I think it might have, but that's still a good one. The Big Guy, because that's who he was known as. Tony Bobolinsky told us that. That was the story. I don't think I have it here on my folder, so I'll have to look it up a little bit later. But I endorse The Big Guy. I like it. Thank you very much, Jerry. Appreciate you. Let's go to Don in Nebraska. Don, you have a title for the proposed Joe Biden memoir?
Well, it's so easy. I came up with like 4 or 5 of them.
All right, fire away.
Like shadow boxing with corn pop. My favorite ice cream. My bodyguard, the Easter Bunny. Am I still president? It's so easy.
Whoa! I like you. You're bearing the lead here. The last one was my favorite. Am I still president? That's really.
I also like to say, if I can, I'm just a regular citizen, and I, found early and was able to get surgery for prostate cancer 5 months ago. How did I get detected in better care than the president?
This is such a mystery. And Don, God bless you. Are you okay? How are you doing? Is your recovery good?
Yeah, I'm fine now.
Okay.
It's amazing. When he was campaigning, I'll cure cancer. Well, I so got it, and he so got it. He didn't even fix himself.
Well,
I'm fine, but how did I get better care than him?
There are issues with prostate cancer, and we know it's so prevalent that there are certain kinds of prostate cancer that are more or less aggressive, and they also weigh in the age of the patient to how aggressive they can be on treatment. So it's hard to say, and that's one thing. I don't wish ill on anybody when it comes to health, and I hope he gets all the treatment. I'm happy to hear you're doing better, but great title. Am I still president? That may be my favorite so far. Let's go to Mike in New York. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Mike. Thanks for taking my call. I think the best title for the book would be Deep Thoughts for Shallow Minds.
Ooh, Deep Thoughts for Shallow Minds. That's pretty darn good. I like the simple ones. These are good. Thank you, Mikey. Let's go to Steve in Arkansas. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Mike. I've got a format and a title for his book.
Really?
Yeah. It could be a couple of 100 pages of blacked out lines, which would match his cognitive ability, and you can name the book Redacted.
I like this. Redacted. The Biden years. What I remember or not. Redacted. That's pretty good, too. This audience is so smart. Thank you. Let's go to Roy in Lynchburg, who has some thoughts on this. Roy, welcome to the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, I'm trying to come up with ways that he could actually make some money off of this book. And most of these are presidential memoirs considered nonfiction. Well, there's no way anybody's going to even look in a nonfiction section for a book by Joe Biden, Just no way. So maybe they should put it either in the fiction section or comedy or something like that. And another way that he could boost his sales is maybe do the ebook route, or the audio book. But if he narrates it himself, it's going to be longer than War and Peace because he just rambles on forever and ever and ever.
That is going to be the challenge, I think, because I said it before. I'm a big fan of the ebooks. I try and listen to at least one a week, and my wife reads 3 to 5 regular books a week. She's always got a book in her hand, and I'll listen to one while I'm driving. It just makes life easier for me. But for Joe Biden to record the memoir, would just, I know everybody in talk radio is salivating at the opportunity because we would have a blast with it. But it'd be the outtakes where the money would be. But thank you, Roy. That's excellent. Let's check in with Dennis in Chesapeake, Virginia. Hello, Dennis. Welcome to the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, Michael. I can't compete with "Am I Still President?" But
that's pretty good, isn't it?
The Delaware dummy goes to Washington.
They're not going to do that. You know, I live in the state of Delaware, and the big rest stop on 95 is called the Joseph R. Biden Rest Area, which is the train station's named after him. They named the Turnpike rest area after him. So they're not going to call him the Delaware dummy. They may call him Scranton Joe. That might get in there somewhere, but I don't think they're going to let you do that one, Dennis. But thank you. Let's go to Robin quickly in Wilmington, North Carolina. Hello, Robin.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
I'm good. I'm interested in what your title would be.
Well, Corn Pop and Me, and then, of course, a colon, the Lunchbox Tales.
Well, first of all, kudos to you for working the colon in there because we know they love their colons. As Chris likes to say. So it's Corn Pop and Me, colon. What was the last bit?
The Lunchbox Tales.
The Lunchbox Tales. Lunch Bucket Joe. Oh, that's very good. That's very good, Robin. Thank you. Well done. Hank's in Tampa, Florida. Hank, you've got the floor. You have a title? We're having the meeting here. We're promoting the possible titles for the Biden book to the publisher.
Yeah, this is no joke. And it's a scratch and sniff for kids.
See, I think with it now, you're the second person to suggest the scratch and sniff option for this. And I have to say, one of the worst things that came out of the Biden presidency was that photo of him sniffing the redheaded girl's hair. That young lady happens to be the daughter of Senator Chris Coons of Delaware. The guy who got Biden's seat and has been a loyal soldier for Biden. That kid didn't deserve that. She certainly didn't deserve the abuse that was rained down upon her. So I think that's the only reason why we wouldn't put all the pictures of the kids in there with scratch and sniff. As funny as that sounds. But thank you, Hank. Let me grab one more, at least one more. And here, let's talk to Don in Arkansas. Don, you got a title for the book?
From the movie The Jerk with Steve Martin, I would title it, I Was Born a Poor Black Child.
You know, but, okay, can I improve on this? Don, can I make a suggestion?
Absolutely.
Okay, because, you know, he claimed to be everything. He claimed to be black, Jewish, Puerto Rican, Greek. I think everything. So we can put all of them. I was born a poor black, Greek, Puerto Rican, Jewish child in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I like what you've done here. That's a
good book.
Yeah, thank you. Very good. Very good. Let's go to Henry in Dunkirk, Maryland. Henry, you're on.
Hey, Mike. I'm glad to hear you. I got two real quick. First one is things I said that never happened. And then the second one is in capital letters with exclamation points. Pardon me?
Ooh, you're the first one to work the pardons in there. I think that's a really good idea. That's a good direction. And we're spitballing here. It's a brainstorming session on how to come up with the right name for the Biden memoir. Pardon is good. But, you know, in terms of politicians, aside from what Donald Trump has been doing for the first 6 months of the second term, not a lot of people get to say, I'm keeping the promises. But, yeah, that's an interesting take on all the things I didn't get done. That's very good. I got to work the pardons in here somewhere. Thank you, Henry. We'll get back to this. This is taking over the show, and it's wonderful. You guys are so smart. I think I'm digging, am I still president? Might have to do an online poll. 888-630-9625. It's Michael Pelka in for Chris Plant on the Chris Plant Show.
The nickname I got early on, I started calling me Joe Bidenopoulos because, oh, you think I'm kidding? I'm not joking, am I?
Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
And we never found Corn Pop, did we? We never found him. That's just amazing. It is the Chris Plant Show. Michael Pelka in for my buddy Chris Plant, and just having too much fun today as we've opened up with the news from yesterday that Joe Biden is getting a $10 million advance for his memoirs, his presidential memoirs. And we're trying to be helpers and offer titles to the book. And I was just going through every talk radio guy, every single one has a folder on their computer somewhere in their system that just says Biden gaffes. It's just riddled with Biden gaffes, which makes the idea of an audiobook so darn funny. It really does, because we know what will happen. There's just such an opportunity for, and we would have to get the outtakes from it. That's going to be tough, because ever since that Casey Kasem tape got released, anybody famous who records something demands the outtakes if they're smart. But it's a target-rich environment. Think about it. Remember this one?
We also need Ukraine to make changes to fix the broken immigration system here.
Yeah, we need Ukraine to fix that broken immigration system. So we're still trying to be helpers, if you will, and come up with the appropriate title for the Biden book. And let's do a lightning round. If you're on hold right now, if you've called 888-630-9625, have your Biden book title ready. We're going to try and get through as many of them as we can as the hour is rapidly coming to a close. Let's do it. Let's go to Chuck in Cedar Hill, Tennessee. Hello, Chuck. Your title, please.
Okay, I started out with Brandon, but I wanted to go to The Auto Pen President by Brandon Corn Pop Biden and Hunter Crackster Jr.
I like it. I like it. The Auto Pen President's very good. Thank you. Let's go to Matt in Arlington, Virginia. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, same thing. Pardon me, sir. Joe Biden with Auto Pen.
Auto Pen. Oh, very good with Otto. Hadn't thought about that. Otto Pen, his ghostwriter. Thank you. Let's go to Carol in Georgia. Hello, Carol.
Hi, Mike. Mine's pretty simple. It's Cobra, Cobra, Cobra.
Ooh, I flash back to the Secret Service alert when Joe was skinny dipping at the vice president's residence. Very good. Cobra, Cobra, Cobra. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go to Don in St. Petersburg, Florida. Hello, Don.
Hi, Mike. Hey, how about Deathbed Confessions?
Oh, that's kind of grim, isn't it? That's
wishful thinking, I guess.
Well, that's a little too real, Don. I'm worried about that, but thank you. Let's go to Rick in North Carolina. Rick, you're on.
You know, The Thing. Tales from the Swimming Pool.
You know the thing. You know the thing. It's good, too. I love it. Well done. Matt in Rockville, Maryland. You may have the last one of the hour. Fire away.
My life as the 46th, you know the thing.
My life as the 46th, you know the thing. Oh, this isn't going to end, is it? We've got so much to get to as well. The president's on his way to Scotland. Why? We'll get into that, too. It's So Pelka in for Plant on the Chris Plant Show.
Cobra, Cobra, Cobra.